everybody, it's PomPom, and welcome to a game called the Miskatonic. I think that's how you say it. And it looked pretty cool, and I love the music so far, so let's get into it. New game. Marie Peanut Butter. Bonjour, we children. My name is Marie Peanut Butter, head of occult science at the Miskatonic University. Ours is the most prestigious institution of dark magic, the occult, and all the strange ghoulies that live in your peripheral vision. There are ghoulies in my peripheral vision. I am here today to tell you a story about a little girl that ruined everything. But ruining everything gives you the opportunities to make everything better, oui oui. But she got, like, a hand on her head. I don't know. What's that? You ask why I have a giant hand sticking out of my head? Well, that's because I am French. It is a thing we have, so no funny business, we? You'll learn about the strange things people are afflicted with throughout the story. After this, you'll think my head is cute and adorable, as you should. But first, let me describe to you the state of the world prior to the witch girl that ruined everything. Do not fret, you probably know this already, oui? So, you are aware of the giant aliens that we call gods, and the cultists that worship them, no? Then let me tell you. Some worship Cthulhu, the giant man-octopus-dragon thing. His cults teach eternal patience, waiting for Cthulhu to come back to them so he can destroy the world. Rude. Some worship Yog-Sothoth, the outer dimensional god of knowledge. These smarty brains try to build portals to let him come here, but that would destroy the world too. Not so smarty. Most humans, like our witch girl, worship Shub-Niggurath, known as the All-Mother. Even cultists for other gods will pray to Shub-Niggurath at the end of their spells and rituals. Oh my god, I'm gonna struggle pronouncing these names. That is because Shub-Niggurath is the goddess of humanity. Her cults preach love and compassion among everyone. Very lovely, oui? But like our witch girls, some can be blended by their desire for harmony. These are some that would take advantage of the naive notion that all humans are loving and good. Not so lovely. Okay, so you know of gods now, oui? So let's talk about a small bit about the humans of the world. Some countries have been more affected than others by the strange happenings of the universe. For example, in Canada. Canada? What's happened in Canada? Yetis. Yetis! Thousands of them! But the Canadians are well prepared. Yeti invasions are considered a national pastime. Bring the family, we'll shoot some Yetis. That's what us French call an English person. Note the sharp teeth, purple blush, the big ugly face. A couple decades ago it was discovered that a huge percentage of the English nobility were actually cannibals, breeding humans in underground caves like livestock. Everyone in England went crazy when it was found out, so now they're all cannibals too. Huzzah! Huzzah for England! Apparently the Scottish just found it hilarious. This one is also my boyfriend, so no touching his ugly face, oui? These little fellas are called Australians. When the Shoggoths left Antarctica, they came across a big island filled with lovely, delicious humans. These humans didn't want to be devoured, and even when half dissolved in the Shoggoth bellies, humans would punch and kick and smash bottles inside them, making the Shoggoths very uncomfortable. Go the Aussies! So instead of trying to eat them, the Shoggoths formed this cute little symbolic relationship with the Australians, granting them immortality in exchange for less punching, so the little Shanes and Sheilas can happily booze and barbecue away for all eternity. I don't even know. This is called an American. Note the silly haircut and gigantic bum. Specifically, this is the American that our story revolves around, and the little witch girl that ruined everything. How can you tell she's a witch? Why, there are many clues. Example, the pasty skin, a symptom of spending her days asleep and her nights dancing around naked in the rain with her coven to conjure strange hexes. Also, the little black choker thing. It's the closest thing to a uniform they get. Shit. You're giving me away. Also, she doesn't wash. Are you going to make me look like a dumbass in this story? Because it was only like 20% my fault. Her name is Charlotte Lestrange. Our story begins with our smelly dumbass being briefed on the university's secret protocols after just being hired as a security guard for the occult science building. But on her first assignment, she discovers that all is not as it seems at the prestigious school. Thanks. Nutsack. Bob! Bob is everywhere. I'm suspicious of Bob. Now, Miss Lestrange, you understand that as a security agent, your off-site assignments are to be kept in the strictest confidence, even from the other members of the faculty, especially the students. You also understand that as a security agent, you'll be in very real danger, both from physical harm and mental corruption. You understand that your body is subject to mutation at any point during your employment and resident in Arkham. Rad. And finally, you understand that as a University of Occult Science, you are obliged to assist us with research regarding your supposed magic eyes, and failure to comply will result in your immediate dismissal. Sure. Well then, Miss Lestrange. Welcome to the oh, this is gonna get me. Miskatonic University. Awesome. Johnny LeGrasse. Ah, you must be the new security guard, Charlotte, right? Yep, that's me. Oh, she's so cute. Great, I'm Johnny, head of internal security. I'll be giving you a tour of the building. You'll be patrolling, then I'll show you to your quarters. Ready to go? Sure. Well, you'll be working here in the occult science building. You're a witch, right? Have you dabbled in the any occult science? Well, I'm pretty good at the occult stuff, though mostly I use it for errands and favors for folks. Plus a few hexes, curses, blights, just to keep that witchy appearance. Blood into jam, bones into sponge cake, cat into mush. Phallus into tiny screaming vestigial face. Oh my god, I'm actually imagining that now! Oh my god, get out of there! Normal stuff! Well, we do things a little differently here. This way. Oh wow. Awesome! This is the Etherium, where our students can perform experiments on the Necronomicon. The creature acts as a shield to the outside world, keeping any experiments sterile and quarantining any unexpected summonings. Hi! Hello! We didn't know it could do that. Did you try talking to him? You're going to provide some much needed common sense around here, Charlotte. I love this! This is so cool! This building also houses the Corporeum, a surgical theatre where our students can perform vivisections and autopsies on otherworldly creatures. Interesting. Ah, speaking of which, this is Eddie, one of our monster hunters. Thanks to him, our Corporeum, I need to make sure I've got to say the names right. Corporeum professors have been able to gather more information on living horrors than any other time in university history. The trick is to figure out where its face is and then commence repeated punching. Who's the new girl? This is Charlotte Lestrange, a witch from the Chesson Coven. She'll be working security for this building. Hi! Looking after us rascals, eh? Well, just give me a clip around the back of the head if you see me slacking off and I'll get back to work. Big stuff. I've been known to whip some ass with my big muscles. There you go, come round to the chop shop. You want to see what me and the lads wrangled up the other day? You witches like nightmares, right? Sure, well, the fun ones anyway. Like when your teeth fall out and you smooth them off with sandpaper to make a lovely necklace. Oh my god. Or when you're running down a corridor in slow motion with a bunch of hands coming out of the carpet and grabbing your ankles, and you finally stop to ask them what they want, and it turns out your shoelaces were untied and they were just super concerned for your safety. Oh my god, this game is amazing! Or when you're in school and you stand up in a class but you forgot your pants and you're embarrassed but everyone compliments your butt. Well, you're a bloody weird one, Charlotte, so you'll fit right in here. Don't let my sister catch wind of you. She won't leave you alone. You telling stories like that. And here's our curator of the Corporeum, Miss Marie Peanut Butter. She used to be a void shaman from Paris before coming to work with us. As fun as satisfying the void, as fun and probably that's supposed to be end. And satisfying the void is, my true passion lies in discovering how things work. Oui? At least when they are dead. Groovy, what's a void shaman? You know, those dark thoughts you have sometimes for seemingly no reason. The ones that tell you to jump when you're at the edge of the cliff, or rob a bank when chasing a paycheck. When cashing a paycheck. Or dropkick a grandma through a stained glass church window at a funeral. Oh yeah, I get those all the time. Well, those are not your thoughts. A few hundred years ago, the French aristocracy's way of life was so decadent and whim-filled, their unbridled sauciness only went and summoned a few bloody hedonism god. A bloody hedonism god? Damn thing lives under the Paris catacombs, communicates telepathically with people all over the world, urging them to give in to their darkest whims. Ugh. The French get it the worst, of course. So these ES shamans take it upon themselves to do the dark deeds, so the rest of France doesn't have to. Must be a right giggle. My last act as a shaman before coming here, I took my clothes off, covered myself in lemon cake and green food colouring, and terrorised a local village as a delicious swamp monster. I quite enjoyed that one. Shall we press on with the tour? Sure, bye you guys. So I'm not to be rude, but judging from the bandaged up arms and the sick eye scar and the terror lines in your hair, I'm getting the impression that security work here is, you know, a little dangerous. Oh no, not for you at least. The occult science building is probably the safest on campus. Because if something went wrong in this building, we'd all be too dead to notice. Gosh. Don't listen to her, she's just a little jealous that the new girl gets the cushy gig, while she's stuck in the math department. What happens in the math department? What doesn't happen in the math department? There's nothing so cold, so unforgiving, so dark as mathematicians. The universe is naught but an equation, they shriek behind their burnt hair and sludge-tainted cardigans, one that can't be solved, or that can be solved. But how do you solve the equation of a dozen screaming children being ingested by a black swirling chasm of teeth and clawing hands opened at the far end of the classroom by one of their damnable equations? Maths is dangerous, kids. No, I'm kidding. Damn you, young Henry. Carry that damned to... I don't even know. So let's carry on with the tour. Next up is the library. Awesome. Each building hosts a small library dedicated to researching and documenting the subject that the building students are studying. Here in the Occult Science building we keep an original copy of the Necromonicon, as well as translated copies for our foreign exchange students. That's a lot of knowledge. Ah, here's our librarian, Charlotte. Meet Miss Emily Saccharine. Saccharine? Saccharine. Don't know. Oh. Blue. Hi, I love your mask. I didn't know you guys had a Shoggoth here, and a tame one too. Oh, Emily isn't a Shoggoth. She just had a small accident with a Necromonicon. A while ago. Ended up like this. But our occult scientists learned an awful lot about what happens with these tomes of black knowledge when you spill your soy no whip ice caramel macchiato 2 shots hazelnut on them. Oh my god. Ah, sure looks like a Shoggoth. Purple, gooey, and Moderately adorable with a hint of terrifying. Well, that's the Necromonicon for you. It's funny, spilling a non-fat frappuccino with extra whipped cream and chocolate sauce just turns you into a puddle of loose bones and blood. Still hasn't stopped Emily from performing her duties, eh, Emily? Ooh, Jew. Shall we press on? Okay, nice to meet you, Emily. She's so sweet. Charlotte, this is Lizzie of Dunwich. How am I gonna do this? Yog Sothoth consultant. She's taught us quite a lot about the outer dimensions during her time here. Lizzie, Charlotte's the new security witch. Oh, so cute. Are you the sort of witch that does the naked in the rain, or the sort of witch that does the lucky charms and the big hats? The rain kind. You and me gonna get along. Yeesh. So, like, how come I can't... What are you? I'm Lizzie. What are you? No, I mean, why do you look like a shadow? Or like part of my eyeball has stopped working? It's 'cause humans can't see. 'Cause they's all afraidy of me and my sister's appearances. Everything else can see me. That's why doggies are all tuck-tails whenever I go near them. Ooh, creepy. Lizzie is an example of a mental phenomenon found only in humans, known as cerebral voiding. It's a trick by the brain to preserve the sanity of its carrier. When a person comes across sights too horrible to comprehend, their brain refuses to render it, instead showing it a black silhouette in the place of the sight itself. Oh my god, that's such a cool concept! Oh, I got goosebumps! Essentially, instead of Lizzie's insanity-inducing true form, your brain is protecting you by showing you a shadow instead. But I saw that interviewer, no problem, the guy whose face was just teeth and gums, and the girl with the hand sticking out of her head, and Emily the librarian. Yep, Lizzie and her Dunwichian sisters are in a league of their own when it comes to horrific appearances. We sent a lot of students to the asylum trying to figure her own. Figure out? That is awesome. Yeesh! Here's our head of catering, Mrs. Roth. She can cook anything with 3 or more legs. Yum, hi. Oh, look at you witches, all skin and bones. You just let one of my little gremlins know what fills your tum and I'll whip it right up. What's the humanitarian dish for today? Day from accounting, my dearest. Oh, pork sandwiches! Lummy, lummy, lum! We employ a small staff of cannibals from England, Eddie in the corporium, and Annie being 2 of them. They only eat fresh accidental deaths with the family's consent. Usually. Oh, I get it. Humanitarian's funny. Humanitarian. Funny. Well, once you're done with Johnny's little tour, let me know and I'll make you breakfast. We're making her into breakfast? Let me have the ass portion. We'll make steak and kidney pie. Big old witch rump. You ain't eating no rump steak, Annie. Your little hoard's got poor old Dave. Oh, come on. At least let me have your ugly feet, eh? Nice and lean, covered in flavour, and entirely useless. Look at them all the way down there. When I'm done with them. Great! Let me get a little appetizer, a little lick between the toesies. Pre-brunch snacklet, how about it? Don't encourage her, dear. She'll be crawling all over me till your feet fall off. My bad. Speaking of cannibals... Good morning, Miskatonic. It's your favorite morning announcer, Mindy, in the morning, bringing you all of the Miskatonic morning announcements, as when I see fit. It's currently 2:30 in the afternoon, so let's get started. Those of you students that have volunteered for the submerged necromantic mutation testing, that has unfortunately been called off by Professor Baxter on the grounds that the school swimming pool is now alive. Lunch today will be turgid and depressing. And with the owner of a white child, please report to the reception office. It's currently being towed. What was that? That's Mindy, the morning announcer. Does she do that a lot? Perpetually. You seem pretty comfortable around this stuff, Charlotte. Oh, I grew up in Maine. Not as many mutated folks, but they make up for it with all the goofy supernatural happenings. Ooh. Hey, Johnny. Thirster's been looking for you. Thanks, Chasm. Come on, Charlotte. I gotta make a quick stop off. What happened to her? Oh, that's Chasm, one of our portal diver team. They usually work out of Dunwich, coming back to write reports on their expeditions. When they come back, of course. So let me make a quick stop and I'll show you to your room. Ah, Johnny, so this is the strange girl, the crumbler, the ruiner. Wow, look at this guy. I like how your coat melts into the floor. Yep, this is her, Charlotte. Oh, this is her, Charlotte. This is Dr. Thirst Valentine, head of occult science and discoverer of residual evil. Residual evil. His work taught the university about the lingering nature of documenting malicious entities. Essentially, he figured out why seemingly innocuous writings can summon horrific creatures or cast terrible curses. It is why the books bleed. That's cool. I had a book that kept growing teeth and screaming and whatnot. It was my diary, though. Excellent. I shall inform my colleagues of your arrival. We will merrily indulge in the popped corn. Ta-ta! I like him. You know, you've come highly recommended, Charlotte. Oh yeah, by who? Charlotte! I can't believe they finally hired my tiny baby monster. Ramen, what are you doing here? Got me some gainful employment teaching kids about old school dark magic. None of this occult science in my class. What have they got you teaching? Oh, you know, I'm in security, keeping folks safe, wandering the halls, swinging a comically large keychain, bopping folks on the head with a flashlight, top secret missions, stuff like that. Pretty on point hiring selection if you ask me. Hey, yeah, safety, that's definitely a keyword when I think of Charlotte the Strange and her magic eyeballs. Hey, those cats turned inside out on their own. I sneezed. Hush your gums. Well, speaking of cosmic abominations, I got to go teach a bunch of 18-year-olds how to turn blood into peanut butter by dancing in the rain. You're gonna love it here, Charlotte. The Miskatonic's just one big like-minded community, all working towards making the world a better place, just like our coven. Come find me when you've got some time off. There was nothing cosmic about them, Rumen. They were just cats with their bones on the outside. They got better. So you two are in some kind of cult? Sort of. We're witch cultists of Shub-Nagurath. Essentially, we believe that since the universe is filled with crazy, awful bullshit, that humans should be nice and loving to each other. Some of us, like the cult of Black Sun, have these awesome bake sales for their neighborhoods, whereas others, like the cult of Loveliness, hunt and slaughter encroaching monsters to protect their hometowns. We're sorta like Goth Girl Scouts. What about you witches? We take all our clothes off and dance in the rain. Typical witchy stuff. But we use black magic to do nice things for all the townsfolk. Body snatching breech birth babies. To make them crawl out of their mum. Summoning fixer-pixies when a guy's leg falls off. Using transmutation circles as portals when the trash collections want a week off. Stuff like that. Wait a minute. The cult of the Black Sun do bake sales? And the cult of Loveliness are monster hunters? What, does the cult of Kill, Murder, Death plant gardens or something? Oh, you mean the cult of Fetid Retribution? No, those guys deliver meals to old ladies. And what was that about magic eyes? Oh, don't worry about that. I just do this. Whoa. And with that lovely picture in mind, I'm going to leave this video here. And I shall see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody. I'm not alone.